how the T sound got its letter. The rain fell heavily in Alphabet Land, making rivers down the windows of Alphabet Castle. Sam and Lucy looked out, wondering how long the wet weather would last. As their breath steamed up the window, Lucy drew with her finger on the glass. "What's that?" asked Sam. "It's a tiger with tiny pants," replied Lucy. "It's a terrible drawing," said Sam unkindly. "You're just grumpy because you're stuck inside," replied Lucy. "I'm not grumpy," Sam shouted. Just as the twins' argument was becoming a fight, the Alphabet King appeared. "Do you want to come for a walk?" he asked. "I can't find a shape for the T sound. But being out in the fresh air is good for getting ideas. Help me look for my umbrella, will you?" The twins searched everywhere, but they couldn't find it. The king said crossly, "Oh, I'll just get soaking wet and be miserable then." Everyone seemed to be in a bad mood today. But Lucy found an old umbrella instead. "This will do fine, thank you, Lucy," said the Alphabet King. "Are you coming walking with me?" "I will," said Sam. They walked along happily, chatting and splashing in the puddles. Suddenly a blast of wind blew the umbrella inside out and ripped off the top. All that remained was the handle. The Alphabet King and Sam hurried back to the castle, getting soaked through. "Did you fall into the sea?" asked Lucy cheekily when she saw them dripping wet. "No, the umbrella broke and we got wet," said Sam crossly. "Oh dear," said Lucy kindly. "So have you been able to invent a shape for the T sound?" asked Lucy. "No," answered the Alphabet King, throwing the broken umbrella into a bin. "Look at that umbrella handle," Lucy said, taking it from the bin and waving it around. "Careful," said the king, ducking. "It looks like a letter," Lucy exclaimed, proudly holding it up. "No, Lucy," said the Alphabet King, "we can't use an umbrella handle as a letter. Anyway, the shape is most unexciting." "We could tie your scarf round it," suggested Sam, "to make it interesting." "We could try to draw it if it's going to be a letter," said the king, still unsure. Drawing the broken handle was easy, but drawing the scarf was difficult. There was a knock on the door. Blunt, the most mischievous of all the pencil guards, entered the room with an envelope addressed to the Alphabet King. He crossed the room, tripped over the umbrella, and flipped towards the table. As he fell, Blunt's tip scrawled across the paper before he hit the floor with a thud. Blunt got up slowly and handed the envelope to the king. "You spoilt my work," grunted the king angrily. But Sam was looking at what Blunt had drawn. "We don't need a scarf," he said. "A line across the umbrella handle will do." The Alphabet King was not sure, but tried it anyway. "The line across the handle will run from left to right in the direction of the writing. Look, it works. We'll call the letter T," said the king, happy now. The Alphabet King opened the book of letters and wrote the letter T, using a blue pen because T is a consonant. As soon as the king had finished writing, the book began to glow. The Alphabet King spread his hands over the glowing book. He wiggled his fingers. The book began to rumble. He pulled something invisible between his hands. The rumbling grew louder. Then the king clapped his hands, and the book flipped shut. The Alphabet King nodded at Sam. Carefully, Sam opened the book, turning the pages until he reached the capital T. "Look," said Sam, "a capital T. T for tall. And that's what it is. Great for starting sentences and names." "But how should we write the letter to link her with her friends?" asked Lucy. "Like this," replied the Alphabet King, drawing in the air with his magic finger. "Start with the lead-in line, take it up to the top, then come straight down and curve round the handle of the umbrella. Don't stop, go straight into the lead-out to join the next letter. Then you must lift your pencil from the paper and go back to cross the T in the reading direction." The royal painter was hard at work painting a castle for the T letters to live in. They both stood on the red carpet in the living room. The very tall capital T reached to the roof. Even the little T was taller than most little letters, reaching into the first floor. The Alphabet King was so pleased that he decided Blunt wouldn't be given time out because his clumsy fall had made such a good letter. And anyway, he didn't do it on purpose.